What's up guys, this is Dark Magician here and welcome to another KOF video. So guys, as you know, we have a lot of stuff going on in the game right now. We do have the big Halloween event and they did release the teaser at the beginning, for the upcoming boss, and it turned out that it's gonna be Cruel Beauty Mature and we can see her now in the game. Now this was kind of unexpected because we were expecting Mizuchi according to the Chinese order, but still, the global developers just like to mess around with the order. I'm actually okay with it. I mean, I've been waiting Cruel Beauty Mature ever since she was released in the Chinese server. She's one of my favorite characters and I'm very hyped for her. So yeah, without any further ado, today's character introduction will be for Cruel Beauty Mature. Okay guys, so as you can see, Mature is an API 15 DPS. Of course, checking the details, you will see a good crit rate, a good crit power rate, although for some reason the crit power is a bit less than others, but I guess it depends. But anyway, regardless, now her feature says the speedy Cruel Beauty. Well, pretty much because she's a fast moving character, she hits very fast in her in her fighting style. And well, she's a beauty, of course. Now, and as well, she has the feature of Orochi's blood. As you can see, all of those characters, a lot of characters have this feature. So, and of course, with more fighters appearing, they will be added to this list. I'm gonna list them for now, okay? But anyway, now starting with her fates. First one is Orochi's blood. We need a Cruel Beauty Mature, Death Vice, and Mizuchi, increasing attack plus 25%. Second fate, Fancy Skills, we need Cruel Beauty Mature, Clark 13, and Shion, increasing attack plus 25%. And the third one, Allurer, we need Cruel Beauty Mature, Alluring Mai, and Shermie, increasing attack plus 25%. These are actually three of the hardest fates to unlock, to be honest. Her fates are really challenging, especially the first two, because well, the third one is pretty much accessible for all of us. But the first two, it will be so troublesome to unlock them because they do require 4 API 15. Now if you can work on one of them, let's say, it would be good enough for now, so it should be fine. Okay, now her weapon is the succubus earrings and she uses a beauty badge and judo tong. Now going through her fight soul first, it's called the red tortoise soul. It says that she can recover 24 rage when attacking or being attacked, and recover rage if ally or enemy dies. So it's many fight souls in one. First one, when attacking, which means a snake soul, being attacked, which means a tortoise soul, and recover rage when somebody dies, which means a tiger soul. So it's actually 3 souls in one, which is pretty good. That's why she can regain rage very fast. Okay, so now let's start with the skills. First of all, we have the passive Cruel Beauty. Gain the Allurer effect when deployed. What is the Allurer effect? Increase own damage and resistance rate by 20% and anti-crit by 30%. Protect own self against mortal damage 1, so she can resist 1 fatal hit. If own rage or HP percentage exceeds 90%, the Allurer effect increases by 50%, so we'll get let's say a 30% resistance rate and 45% anti-crit if she does have more than 90% HP. And the immunity to rage decreasing effect is gained, so in these conditions, she can't have her rage reduced. You can't reduce her rage. There is a 30% chance as well for Cruel Beauty Mature's normal attacks to allure the target. Now here, of course, like Vice, I'm gonna upload a screenshot to see what it is like to allure a target. You can see hearts flowing over that specific target. Now, even normal attacks, so there's a 30% chance that she can apply this debuff on the target. What does it do? Decreases defense and rage restoration speed of the target by 20% and ignores the immunity to debuff effect as well. And of course it lasts for 2 rounds and cannot be dispelled, just same as Vice. During which Cruel Beauty Mature gains 3% of HP and 30 rage for each active attack done by the target. So whenever the target makes an attack, whatever attacks, whether if it was an ultimate, a skill or a normal attack, she will regain 3% HP and 30 rage every time that target makes an attack. Okay, and if the target or if the attack allures the target or hits the allured target, the crit of this attack will increase by 30%. So at the same time, if she hits an allured target or if this attack makes the target allured, add to that attack 30% crit. So this attack will have an additional 30% chance to make a critical hit. Okay, that's why she's really damaging, guys. We're gonna see it in the other skills as well. Now when own HP percentage is less than 50%, Storm Shield will be gained, which is a shield, a type of shield, a purple shield that we're gonna see. It will be gained, absorbing the damage that is 4 times her own attack. So it's worth 4 times her own attack. Of course, it gets better after her second gate is unlocked. I think it will be 6 times her own attack. But the reflection damage won't be defended, so she can still receive damage reflection. Again, after her second gate, I think this will not be the case. She can resist actually. She will not get damage reflection, and the shield will exist until it is broken. The shield will stay until it's broken. Okay, it doesn't have like a time limit, and the shield resists overflow damage when it's broken. So like Elizabeth's shield as well, let's say somebody made a mega ultimate against her and she has just a small chunk of this shield, it will absorb all the damage and it will be lost. No overflowing damage will be dealt. Okay, Storm Shield can be activated up to 3 times per battle. That's actually one exclusive feature for her. She can activate a shield 3 times per battle, which is pretty good. And own HP drain will be increased by 10% whenever this Storm Shield is activated. So let's say she activated the shield 3 times, she will add 10% 3 times, so she will gain overall 30% HP drain as well, because it stacks for 3 times and it lasts for the entire battle. So it's like she gets better with time, okay? The more she survives, the better she gets. Okay, and the immunity to control effect will be gained for 1 round. So whenever she activates the shield, she will gain control free for 1 round, for that round. Okay, now this is the first part of the passive. The second part is here the synergy with Death Vice. If Death Vice is on own side when Cruel Beauty Mature is deployed, the Sisterhood effect will be activated. So what is this effect? Cruel Beauty Mature's effect of protecting herself against mortal damage once turns to Resurrection once effect. So we did mention that she can resist death for once, but instead of this, if Vice is present, if Death Vice is present, she can resurrect once instead, which is of course much better. Why? Because she will restore HP by 10% and inherit all the rage she previously had and all the stackable buffs that she already had before death. So it's like she's gonna get back the way she was, even with all the buffs, with all the rage and everything. So that's why it would be really good to have Death Vice along with her. And for Vice, add or refresh a Storm Shield to Death Vice whenever Cruel Beauty Mature's Storm Shield is activated. So whenever Mature gets herself a shield, she will give Vice a shield as well. So every time she gets a shield, she can give it to Vice as well. But of course here, absorbing the damage that is 150% of Cruel Beauty Mature's attack. Of course its effect is less than that for Mature, but it's still a shield. I mean, it still can help a lot for Vice. So yeah, and finally, of course, the Interfere skills decrease all the enemy's attack. It's not stackable with other Interfere skills, and it doesn't take effect when the fighter is deployed as an aid fighter. A typical skill, decreasing attack for all enemies by 15%, of course at level 1, and it gets higher like other interference skills. Okay guys, so that was her passive. Now going to her minor skill, Death Row. Attack the enemy in a row. So she attacks, let's say, the enemies like either the front row or the back row, depending how many enemies are there. So she attacks a row, and there is a 50% chance to allure the main target, and a 25% chance to allure the rest of the targets. We have seen the allure effect, how it's like. Okay, the damage of this attack increases by 10% for each allured enemy. So the more allured enemies, the more damage this skill can make. Increase on ultimate damage by 10%, and it can stack again up to 3 times, but the effect will be cleared after the ultimate is released. So it's like she can stack a lot of buffs, and here she can stack up to 30% ultimate damage, and whenever she makes the ultimate, it will be reset again. So she really depends on the allured targets in a way to regain her self rage, to regain HP, to do more damage, okay, to increase crit, attack, ultimate damage, everything. So she has a lot of ways to regain stuff. Okay, so that was pretty much her her minor skill. Now finally, going through her ultimate, Nocturnal Rites. Attack the enemies in a column, okay, a column here. Increase attack, defense, and crit power by 20%. Allure a random enemy that is hit, so she allures one of them for sure, and dispels all the buff that the target has, and gain the lethal effect, typical just like API 12 Mature, dealing 20% extra damage to the target whose HP percentage is higher than 60%. So that's the lethal effect, of course. and the chance of releasing the small skill increases by 15%, which can be stacked up to 3 times. So overall she can gain herself up to 45% increasing skill probability. So like others, she can make skills very often, almost every round. And gain 10% extra attack if this attack hits a target that is already allured. Again, same concept. She will deal extra damage if one of the targets at least is allured himself. And here, after the weapon awakens, the effect will be improved in an all-round way. The ultimate will switch to Heaven's Gate in special circumstances. So guys, here after you awaken her weapon, she will make another ultimate, okay? Not another, I mean a different ultimate, okay? Which is called, of course, the Heaven's Gate. Now here, the Heaven's Gate, the circumstances is that when there's an opponent with less than 60% HP, any opponent which has 60% HP, she will go and target him, and she will deal an additional damage which is worth 25% of his own HP, which is a lot. So most likely this ultimate can be a one-hit KO, okay, if the opponent has a low HP, okay. That's why, you know, her weapon is definitely needed. We're gonna talk about that later on, okay? But that's pretty much how she can make the other ultimate. You need to awaken her weapon, and such that the opponent will have a fighter with less than 60% HP. Okay guys, so pretty much this was it regarding Mature's skills. Now of course, before we get to the more advanced stuff, I'm gonna mention her gate partners, which are Mature, Vice, and Crazy Iori. Typical, you know, 2 API 12s, 1 API 14. It's not so hard to work on them. So guys, now the question goes, is Mature a good fighter or not? I did mention that before guys, I think in Teriko's video, if I'm not wrong. I did mention the best DPSs that we're gonna have for a while. I did recommend either Teriko or Mature, because those two are the best DPSs that we're gonna have for a while, okay? So definitely, if you're lacking one good DPS, as you can see, she has a lot of ways to do damage, massive damage guys. But the thing is that, now here I'm gonna touch on one thing, her smacks, okay? I don't know if you know about her smacks, but it allows her to attack everybody, all targets, okay, and area damage. And her damage is insane, okay? Her damage is really insane. So overall, if you're gonna go her without her smacks, then I would suggest to skip her, okay? Better skip her, because she won't be doing that much without her smacks. But definitely, if you're gonna consider her smacks, then she would be one of the best DPSs that we will have for a long time actually. So that's my recommendation. Just if you want to get her, go for her smacks. Otherwise, don't go for her. Now, in which teams, again, we're starting to shift to the Mizuchi meta now. We have to think about DPS, tank, or gank instead of fight souls, because you've seen her fight soul. I mean, she has everything pretty much. So yeah, as a DPS, I do recommend her definitely, especially if you don't have Teriko, for example. You do need a good DPS, and she would be a great candidate. Add to that, guys, her best conditions would be in female teams, along with Death Vice, man. And I do stress on the point of having Death Vice with her. One, because you do need Death Vice for the Fates anyway. And second, because you've seen the sisterhood, the linkage that she has with Vice. It's pretty good. They can benefit each other in a very nice way. And you would reach her best performance along with Vice. Although, it's not very exclusive, honestly. I mean, later on with the game, most players will most likely take out Death Vice after a while, but yet they will keep Mature in the team even without Vice. So actually, yeah, it's still possible. Even if you don't have Vice, it would still be possible to have Mature as well. I'm just talking about her best performance, which would be in a female team along with Death Vice. Okay guys, so, and again, her smacks. I really stress on her smacks. So yeah, that's pretty much my recommendations for Mature. Now, going through which runes are good for her. I think you can figure it out here, because she's a DPS and she's all about the damage. So definitely here, you do have a few options. Now, again, as I always say, you have to manage the runes with your priority. If you have lower priority than your opponent, then most likely she will gain enough rage to make an ultimate on round 1. So that's why I would recommend Wolf's Anger or Killing Soul, or a combination of both, because that's something I really like. Like, I like to put 4 Killing Souls and 2 Wolf's Anger, simply to get a crit boost and make more damage when she crits, and to get herself an attack boost, which is a base attack boost, which is really needed for DPSs. Okay, that would be one option. Another option, if you have higher priority than your opponent, then she won't make an ultimate on round 1 and most likely will make an ultimate on round 2. So then in this case you can consider either the Dragon Tiger or God's Wrath. Same thing, I'd like to put 4 God's Wrath and 2 Dragon Tiger, you know, just to mix those runes. Other than that, I don't really see any point in putting anything else. Like, Aerith's Heart is defensive, Protector as well. Heart of Thorns might be possible if she's at the front, but I prefer to make her a damage dealer, guys, a major damage dealer. I forgot to mention if you should put her in the front or the back. I would say, guys, try to put her in the back because you do want to make her the main damage dealer of the team. So in the back row, she can achieve maximum damage. Although you've seen that she's a tortoise soul, she can have shields, she can resurrect, she can resist well in the front, and a lot of people do use her at the front. So you can actually do that if let's say you have lots of DPSs in your team. But if not, then yeah, just shift her in the back because it would be better for her. Okay, and finally, guys, one more thing, which is the 5th Fight Soul. Which 5th Fight Soul can work well on her? I would say 2 Fight Souls can be good on her. Storm Soul and War God. Well, first, guys, Storm Soul, it's definitely good on her because, it's all about the damage. And, it makes her do another ultimate, guys. And especially, again, with her smacks, she can deal tons of damage. And, well, even though it's only 50% the damage that she will make in the first one, but it's still considerable. And this way she can allure more targets this way. In addition to that, guys, which is the cut effect or the storm cut effect, the bleeding effect that she can give. Because she can hit everybody in her ultimate and she can hit up to 3 opponents in her minor skill, then it would be great to apply the cut effect on them. So that's why Storm can actually be a great option on Mature, as well as the War God, of course, simply because it will make her gain additional 15% crit rate and of course deal additional damage for 1 opponent which is affected by the debuff of the War God. Other than that, there isn't any specific one for her, but usually I do recommend one of those 2 if you have them available, okay? So yeah, guys, I think this was it regarding Cruel Beauty Mature. Our question will remain, when will Mizuchi arrive? Honestly, I'm still doubting if he's gonna be next or not, because next month is December. I don't know if they would prefer to put him at the beginning of the new year or in the beginning of January, because Mizuchi is a core fighter, and it would be like a good way, let's say, to celebrate New Year's Eve with a new meta and everything. So that's why I do have high hopes that it's gonna be on January and not in December. But I still wonder who's gonna be in December. So yeah, until then, put your suggestions. Who do you think it would be next, guys? And what do you think about Cruel Beauty Mature? Are you excited as much as I am? Because I'm really hyped for her, guys. So yeah, just let me know everything in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.